Always good when Tony Stewart stops by on Fast Talk, the two-time champ, making a stop here today at Charlotte Motor Speedway to chat with about 300 of his fans who bought the Tony Stewart Double Down tickets, and that was a fun event. And, Tony, they were here celebrating your win last year in the Sprint All-Star race. Does it really seem like that was a full year ago when that happened?
It does. I mean, there's a lot that's happened since last May, but it's, this is a race now that really is going to be special to Stewart Haas Racing for the rest of our time as an organization and race team, to get that first win and to get Gene up there in victory lane for the first time, and so many guys that had worked for Gene the previous 6 years that were with Haas Racing, and to finally get these guys their first trip to victory lane in the Cup Series was pretty cool.
How much of that was a sense of relief and exhilaration? Because there had to be some part of you said, okay, we stuck all this out there, and finally we're getting some return on the investment.
Well, we had been running well before the All-Star race, but it was, I don't think that any of us had an expectation of saying when we thought we would win a race. I mean, I felt in my heart that the team was capable of winning a race the first year at some point. Never would have dreamed it was going to be one of the biggest bang races of the year, but and especially in our backyard. And I think that's what really made it so big, is that it happened, I think, much sooner than a lot of people anticipated, and definitely, there were a lot of people that kind of didn't know what to think about what we were trying to do, and I think it really sent a message to these people how dedicated our organization is to being successful. So, it kind of quieted a lot of the naysayers and a lot of people that were on the fence trying to decide if I'd made a good decision or not. I think standing there on the stage there getting the check was a pretty good statement to them.
Now, you've got about every trophy that Charlotte Motor Speedway has to offer. You've won the 500. You've got the All-Star race. You're missing the Coca-Cola 600 out of that mix. How important would that be to add to Tony Stewart's trophy shelf this May?
Anytime you win a race at Charlotte, it's big. This is a speedway with a lot of history, and obviously the Coke 600 is a huge event. I mean, I'm a big fan of shorter races nowadays, but the 600 is truly a special event. With it being on Memorial Day weekend and the history of the Coke 600 and when it was back at the World 600, there's just a lot of tradition that surrounds the month of May here in Charlotte. So this is a big race. I mean, this is an important race to win.
And you're still the only guy that has a top 10 at Indy in the 500 and a top 10 in the 600 on the same day. I mean, I guess you're the only one, so that's a pretty elite crowd that you're in there.
Yeah, we're still the only guy that's completed all 1,100 miles at the double duty, which is something I'm really proud of. I think the best two finishes we had, I think we finished 6th and 3rd here. 6th at the 500 and 3rd here at the 600. So it makes for a very, very long day. And when you're done with the 600 after running Indy and the flight and helicopter rides and police escorts and all that during the day, you're very, very content to lay your head on a pillow and still feel like it's not stopped moving yet.
Now, did I remember it right that you said after the 600 you were hallucinating because you were so hungry, or it was something along those lines?
The first year we did it, obviously I'm not Mr. Olympia, and I'm probably not the healthiest guy in the world compared to a lot of the other drivers in the circuit. But the first year we were so worried about dehydration that I drank and I drank and I drank and I drank, and just never really ate enough solid, nutritious food the night before and the day of the race, because I just wasn't hungry, because I was drinking so much to try to ensure that I was being hydrated properly, and had got my body so out of whack that by the time the 600 was done here in Charlotte, I had had enough. I mean, I was hungry 50 laps into the race, which it's a 400-lap race here at the 600. So, 50 laps into it, it was still daylight. It was early in the race, and there wasn't a Burger King drive-through in sight. So, it made for a long day, and we tried to get one of Bobby Labonte's power bars, actually, to try to just get something in us to tide us over till the race was over, and it didn't work. I got 2 bites of it, and that 2 bites did not make it the next 350 laps around Charlotte. So it was a good learning experience. I mean, we still finished, I think we finished 9th and 4th, I think, that year in the 2 races, and So it was a good learning year, and got our feet wet and raised a lot of money for charity that first year, and then we did it 2 years later with Ganassi at Indy and Gibbs here. We had a nutritionalist that was with us for the whole month of May, and so I was in a lot better shape. I mean, I could have actually, the first year my girlfriend drove me home and I was sick the whole ride, and the second time around I drove her home and she slept. So I was in a lot better shape the second time.
All right, you did a fan forum here today at Charlotte Motor Speedway earlier, and a couple of fans addressed the fact you haven't gotten off to the hottest start of the year, and you talked about the fact you just came from a competition meeting with your team and still trying to identify what needs to be turned in the other direction.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, it's there's nothing easy about what we do, because it's you're competing against 41 other guys every Sunday, and it's not always clear cut what the right answer is and where the problem lies. So, but that's what makes it so rewarding when you do have things going your way and you got stuff figured out. So we're just kind of in a slump right now that we're, Darian's working really hard. I know Bobby Hutchins is trying everything, and Ryan and Tony Gibson are trying to help us as much as they can to get us turned around. But, we're definitely struggling right now, but, the thing that I think I'm really proud of out of it, and the positive out of the negative, is that the morale of the team and the organization is still very, very high. Darian's got his head up. I've got my head up with it. I mean, we're not proud of how we're running right now. We know we're better than that, but we're going to get it sorted out and get going again.
Well, I have all the confidence in the world that we'll be talking to you on Fast Talk pretty soon after you've won one of these Sprint Cup races. Who knows? It might be the 600 here at Charlotte. Thanks a bunch for your time, man.
All right, pal. Thank you.